Greetings, everyone. This video is part 2 of a two-part series about the best technique that ESL teachers and tutors can use to teach listening skills. So in part 1, I briefly explained the essentials concerning how this technique worked. And I demonstrated how we can use it with an audio recording. So you may want to watch part 1 before watching this part 2, but if you're not able to do that or you want to just continue with this, I think you'll still understand how you can use this technique just by watching this part 2. So now I'll show you how we can use this technique with a video, like a movie or a documentary or something from YouTube or even a cartoon. It's amazing how much listening practice students you can give your students right at the proper level for them. So as I explained in part 1, the first thing that you do is find a video of something that your students will be interested in. Or, if you're tutoring, find something that your individual student would like to watch. And this is important. You don't have to worry whether your students will be able to understand the speakers in the video. Just find something that is interesting for them. I always remind my students that they don't have to understand what the speakers in the video said. They just need to understand what I said. And what I say will depend on their listening skills. Or the level of their listening. That is what makes this technique so amazing and liberating for the teachers. You can use this same video with any level and with any age group. As I mentioned in part 1, for example, for lower levels, you'll have the video and you'll just speak a little bit slower when you explain what the speakers in the video said, or use a little bit easier vocabulary, or maybe just shorter sentences. Compared to if you had advanced students, you would speak faster, of course, and use longer sentences. So here's a demonstration of how you can use this technique with a video. In this case, for the demonstration, this is a travel video. And you'll notice from my level of speaking during the demonstration, this would probably be a intermediate level group of students who would be I would be presenting this to. Oh, I said in part 1, I'm not reading from a script. I listened to this video and I kind of formulated in my mind where I would stop the video and a little bit what I would say, but I didn't sit down and write a script. And that's why this technique is so user-friendly for the teacher. There's not a huge amount of preparation.
The skills we'll cover in this episode: planning, packing, safety, and perhaps the most rewarding skill of all, connecting with locals. Okay.
So this video is about traveling in Europe. And this guy's name is Rick Steves, and he's a very famous travel expert. So he said in this video, he's going to give us some advice about planning a trip, and also what you should pack in your suitcase, how you can stay safe. And he also said he'll tell us how we can meet people who live in these countries. So now I'm going to go to another part that I want to show you. Let's see. Okay, let's continue here.
Big cities are vibrant and festive throughout the year. By the way, while Europe has little violent crime, it comes with plenty of petty purse snatchings and pickpocketings. European thieves target Americans, not because they're mean, but because they're smart. We're the ones with all the goodies in our day bags, wallets, and purses.
So here he's going to talk about how to stay safe in Europe. And he said, you know, you don't have to worry about someone shooting you with a gun or hitting you on the head or cutting you with a knife. But there are some thieves who will try to take money from your pocket or out of your purse. And they especially look for Americans because they think that often Americans have a lot of money in their backpacks and their purses.
There are all kinds of scams. Remember, thieves don't dress like thieves. Thieves can be mothers with babies in their arms and fast-fingered children at their sides. Thieves work to distract you. They'll spill something on you or shove a cardboard sign in your face and so on. You're not likely to get mugged, but if you're not careful, you could get pickpocketed or purse snatched.
So he said in this part, it's really hard to know who is a thief. You know, they don't wear special clothes, and they don't really look really strange. You know, a thief could be someone who looks like a grandmother, or it could be someone with children, and the children will secretly take money from your pocket or backpack. And they sometimes use special techniques. For example, one of them will maybe stand next to you and pretend to accidentally spill something on you, for example, a soft drink. Then while they apologize and maybe try to help you dry off your shirt, and you know, you're looking at your shirt because it's all wet from what they spilled on you, a second thief will kind of secretly come up behind and maybe take something out of your pocket or your purse.
How can you foil thieves without feeling like you're constantly on guard? A great way to handle this problem is to zip up and secure your valuables. I wear a money belt. It's a nylon pouch you tie around your waist and tuck in like your shirt tail. In it, you carry just your essentials so that you can wear it comfortably all day long. For instance, I keep my driver's license, a couple of credit cards, my passport, my big money, and my train tickets. As an added precaution, before my trip, I email myself all my important personal information.
So now he's saying, you know, you want to avoid thieves, but you don't always want to be worried about everybody around you and always looking for, oh, who is that? Is that a thief? Is that a thief? And thinking about it all the time. So he has some advice. For him, he likes to wear a money belt. And so this is a little bag that he wears inside his pants, but he only carries the most important things because he doesn't want it to be too big. And so he carries his, like you could see, he has his driver's license, he has his passport, he has credit cards and some money and his train ticket. And then he has one more piece of advice. He says he always sends an email to himself with a list of all his important information. So, for example, he would probably, on that email, he would write down what his passport was, just in case he loses his passport. Okay, now I'm going to show you some other types of listening practice that you can do in videos. I'm going to move ahead here. Let's see here, 15.
From the spiffed up commercial zones, explore.
So I'm going to show you, this is something, let's say you've got some low-level students and you're watching a video here. And so just for a change, what you can do is you can stop and ask questions. And then the students, they can write the answers on a piece of paper. Or, you know, if you're tutoring a student, you can stop it, ask a question, and the student can answer. So, for example, let's look at here. So I stop the video and I'll say, okay, number one, can you see an old town or a modern town? And then the students, on their paper, hopefully they would say an old town. All right. I stop here and I say, how many people can you see? And then I can say, look at the older woman on the left. What does she have on her arm? And look at the young man walking. Is he carrying a backpack or a suitcase?
Vernazza has no...
Look at Rick Steves. He's walking up a little sidewalk there. What does he have in his pocket?
modern hotels. And that's actually good news. It keeps away the high-maintenance travelers, those that demand all the four-star comforts. You can sleep in humble pensio.
What do you think? Is it a rainy day? Okay, so that's a fun thing you can do. A lot of good practice listening that you can do with the students, and that's just one more exercise. So that's an example of a travel video used with a intermediate level group of students. And as I said, you can use this technique with any kind of video. And I really like using it with movies. One recommendation I would make if you're going to use this with a movie is find a movie that has a lot of dialogue rather than just a lot of action. That way, with dialogue, you can easily say in English what each of the actors what all the actors have been saying in the movie. And you might even be able to include some natural slang. What's interesting doing this with movies is that as a movie progresses and the students start to understand who the characters are and what their style of speaking is, they try to understand as they're watching a movie what everybody is saying. And I know this is happening because maybe the actors will say something funny and immediately the students start laughing. And I'm thinking, wow, that's amazing that they understood what was being said in the movie. They didn't have to wait for me to explain it. They were understanding. And that they tried to understand. So as I said in part one, it's a good idea to give them some comprehension questions after listening to a segment. That can let you know if you're talking to them at the right level, and it can give them confidence that they are really understanding. I've put together a packet of listening comprehension exercises that you can use with the movie Big, and I'll include a link below where you can find these exercises. And if you want, you can use them for free with your students. But even if you don't use that movie, you'll see a large variety of exercises, including some in which students interact with each other. And then you can use those exercises as a model for any movie or documentary or lecture or YouTube video that you'd like to use. Another alternative for checking their comprehension, if you'd like to reduce your preparation time, is just after listening to a segment, have them take out a piece of paper and just ask them some true-false questions or short answer questions. So I hope you find this technique as effective and as much fun to teach as I have. Thank you for watching.